Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to my channel. I've got clear instructions to perform some work on this vehicle here. Not testing anything. The customer requested that we change an alternator that they've already purchased. They purchased a new one. Before I begin, 2011 Kia Soul. Been a while since I've changed one of them. These here get changed from underneath. I don't know that I remember everything, doesn't matter. Not rocket science, we can figure it out as we go. Got a couple of things I'm gonna show you guys today. I'm gonna share with you today. This is Knipex Raptor. These are like a German crescent wrench. These things are pretty cool. Of course, when the bolt is real tight, it's going to be a problem, but essentially that's what that amounts to. These here, for an emergency, you know, they work great. Now, the other one, and Knipex, these Knipex, or Knipex in German, they're not a sponsor by any means. I bought these here. Now these here is another little plier. This one here, this particular one here is 8551 250 AF. We'll see if we can get that in there. Yeah, I believe that works. Alright, so, and what that is I've been kind of a little bit excited about these here to try them out. They're a little bit pricey to try out, but in the event, we're going to try them anyway. Sorry about that. I didn't want that popping in my hand. So what that is these ones here are pliers for our hose clamps. They work like the Cobras. They got the push button on the side. Of course, they're adjustable, you know. Goes, kind of sort of goes without saying. And once we lock them in place, these will lock in place. They're now locked with this push button. I've been excited about trying these. This is not me. They'll pivot, all that good stuff. They're really neat. Once you get a hang of using these here, like I said, they are a little bit pricey. I don't know when they came out with them. I think it's a fairly new style plier that they got. Now here is something else, also from the same company. I used to have one of them many moons ago, and I really forgotten about it, but I happened to come across it. I think I seen this on Amazon. And immediately when I seen this, I had to get me a pair. 1102 160. These are this is the high voltage rated flavor, but you look on the front here what they are. They're for wires, and these things essentially, once you get your wire size, there's a thumb wheel on here. You can set them. Let me see if I get that set up for you guys. Now don't get me wrong, I like the strippers, you know. You go in here, find your wire size, go strip them. But there's a problem. A lot of times, or not a lot of times, but sometimes you just in a spot on these automobiles where you hardly really can't get pliers in sideways. Now that's where these things here will really shine, because I can come in here from the front, strip my wire. Once that's set, now my my apology on that, because that wasn't set. I had them set a little bit too tight, so once that's set, I can come in here, find your wire size, go strip them. But there's a problem. A lot of times, or not a lot of times, but sometimes you just in a spot on these automobiles where you hardly really can't get pliers in sideways. Now that's where these things here will really shine, because I can come in here from the front, strip my wire. Once that's set, now my apology on that, because that wasn't set. we'll do this again. Pull on it. You know, once they're set right, these things work awesome. I wanted a pair because I can go in there like on a harness, in a tight spot. I can come in the front and pull out. Great tool. Hopefully a good addition to my toolbox. Anyway, enough of that. You know, of course, I do this a lot. I introduce tools in the beginning of the video, so there you go. See if I need to adjust. A little bit of ducking should be good. I'm gonna bring the camera up, and the verdict is, let me flip the screen around, our alternating unit is right there. Get a light in there so you can see. Right there's the alternator, and we need 10mm to remove this plastic cover here. That's what covers the whole entire front side, so we'll get on that and see if we can't make a halfway decent video out of this. This one here is a 2-liter. I said it should be a 10 mil. Perhaps if I go the right way, it'll come off. Get the front ones. I got sidetracked again. Unplug the control wire, and then we'll undo the main wire, and I didn't get in a hurry. I got to talking about my tools and I forgot something, which I was going to do, but I did not. So pause that camera back up and unhook the battery because I forgot. Sorry folks, I slipped. I really did forget to unhook the battery. Of course, make sure you put the cable someplace where it can't accidentally fall back on, but top side, I do believe that's everything we have to do. Okay, so now that we got the battery undone, and we're not going to light this thing up like a firecracker, we can unhook the battery cable, which is a 12mm. Okay, that same 12mm goes for your bolt from the alternator. I've explained this before. So we'll go ahead and talk about this one more time. I like to go ahead and look at my alternator. So I get me, I'm gonna go on this side. I get me an idea because we're sitting like this. My bolt is right here. So there's one more bolt on top here. So we know that there's 2 bolts that we have to remove in order to get this off. Now, I'm going to go ahead and loosen this bolt up. Then we got to take the tension off the belt. Naturally, we have to do that as well. The top, excuse me, the top bracket is our tensioner. We'll loosen that screw up or that bolt up, and then we have to relieve the tension off of it by turning the bolt, the other bolt. Go ahead and finish taking this off. I'm pretty sure that everything we're dealing with on this one here is 12, other than the bolts on the plastic, which are 10, of course. See what we got to do to get to this one here. We need a little bit of an extension, so I'm going to show you exactly what you're going to need. We're using a ratchet, tire ratchet. This is where I'm at now. We'll see if that works. If I can get to that with that, then yeah, that'll work. No, that won't work. Okay, so this combination here is a little bit too short. And the quarter-inch drive may not be the best idea ever. So we'll go ahead and get a little bit longer one. See if we can make it happen with it. Oh yeah. Okay, so this one is a little bit tighter. Power tool is not yet working. Get ratchet after it. Okay, so now they tightened that up pretty good, so I'm gonna actually switch over. I don't want to break my tools. We're gonna use the right equipment here. Yeah, should have done it in the first place. That quarter-inch not quite stout enough to get this, but anyway. We'll get us a 3/8 inch drive. See if we can pop it loose. There we go. Yeah, I didn't want to break my equipment. Of course, now we should be able to loosen up our tension. So, short extension. Okay, here I'm going to switch back to this quarter-inch combination. We're going to try to use this. See if we get in there. Yes. Okay. The off direction loosens the alternator and lets it slide forward. We have to still remove the bolt. But right now that belt can be taken off of here. Whoa. Well, I didn't mean to take it all the way off, but we did anyway. So, anyway, and I don't know if I mentioned that earlier. I may not have. I had clear instructions to change the alternator. That wasn't about testing anything. There's no allowance for testing or anything like that. They got battery light on. They got check engine light on. So we are going to do exactly what they ask us to do and no more. Well, that's that bolt that's coming in from the side. That's a block, which I showed that in previous videos, how these systems here work. Now we'll have to push the bolt out of here. We'll get a little tap, tap, tap. Get my itty bitty tap, tap, tap tool. So, yeah, that's it. Throw it. Why not? Pick up the washer that I dropped. This is this one. Be sure to put that in from the side of the car. And here we're going to have to be a little bit careful so we don't damage the oil filter, which happens to sit right here. So kind of keep that in mind. Put something in there, pry on it. Of course, there's that part right here. You could potentially put something on there, lubricate that a little bit, but a lot of times they'll just, when you tighten the assembly up, that squeezes inward, and that's what's actually is holding it right now. So we'll have to do a little bit of prying, not going to be much. We'll use a screwdriver, no more. See if we get it here off to the side. Get that little bar. I'll get off to the side over here and hopefully not hurt anything in the process. A shot of this is where I'm at here. So I guess I should have moved that camera a little bit. That's where I'm at right here. We're trying to, this is locked in right now. That's what I'm trying to pry off of here without hurting anything else. Got the camera sort of in the way. These little devils get locked on there pretty good, guys, so just be patient. Rest it right there for just a second. Take the bar out of my hand here, and I may have to move you guys back. Lay it over like I just did and go in with it the same way. Let me flip my screen here so make sure that you can see this. Yes, you can. This is where I'm at. Sorry about the light, but this is exactly where I'm at. So we'll pull it out that way and theoretically you can grab your new alternator and do the same thing. Hold it just like I held this one here and go right back up into place with it. So I'll try to find something metal here. Okay, there we go. Okay, so let me remove this again. Well, I'm going to show you something else. I just stuck the whole bolt back in, guys. I didn't really pay attention to it, I guess, at any point in time when I did it, because it's slotted up here. All right, so I didn't pay no attention to that, I guess, the last time I did it, so I took that bolt out anyway, but didn't have to, so there you go. But in any event, don't take a couple of seconds to do it, so I'm gonna move you back just a little bit. Let me see, can we see anything here? All right. I think we're good, I think we're golden. Of course, at that point in time, actually, let me do something else here. Take that back out for just a second and check this screen, fold that screen for a second. So I just wanted to show you the contraption up here on top. Let's get zoomed into that right there. So that's the block. We're going to have to put a bolt back into that block. That's what that is. So it goes through the slot, through the block, into the alternator. We'll zoom you back out. All right. So good, we can see all that. But anyway, I'm gonna leave the camera right there, and for the most part, I've been leaving the camera running because, well, for one, this is not all that time-consuming of a job in the first place. Of course, as I always say, if you're on the ground, this changes a little bit. Well, quite a bit changes, so, but we'll stick that bolt through the block in the slot right there, and perhaps I said that backwards earlier. Hopefully you knew what I meant by that. It goes from this way here. Of course, we're going to run that bolt up. All right, loosen it back up. It's got to be loosened up a little bit now. You want to go ahead and tighten it up and then loosen it back. I'm not tightening it up, but run it all the way up and then loosen it up just a smidge so you can get the belt back on and adjust it. It goes over the first 3 pulleys up here in the front. Bear with me, give me just a second. Bring that. Make sure we're lined up. hate cold fingers. It's been getting pretty cold. And this old boy don't like cold fingers, I tell you that. I want to do a lot of this by hand, so you see that even if you don't have power tools, it doesn't take that long. But right there's your pulley. Whoops. There's your pulley line up. There is 3 pulleys in the front here that this goes on. The other one is the air conditioning. Hopefully you like the little bit more detailed version. I don't guess I normally go that detailed on it, but I figured I will on this one. I tightened that belt. I grab that belt with my 2 fingers and make sure I can turn it a half a turn. Basically, I'm folding that belt 90 degrees in 2 fingers. You know, if it's beyond that, it's too tight. We could use somewhere in my toolbox. I do have an acoustic gauge that measures frequency for belts. We can use it, but I'm not going to. I've done it like this for many years, and it's always worked for me. So I would tighten the top one. I'm going to tighten it up first. Doesn't matter which one you tighten up first. I'm just doing this one right here. That don't need to be that tight. So remove that extension here and tighten the bottom bolt as well. Of course, you don't need nothing but this 12 because the backside is hex, not a hex, but a square head, and it's locked into the alternator itself. At this point in time, if you let me see. This is what's happening, and we'll see if we can see. Let's get you in here. What is happening here is that bushing is pushing in. Well, that's what I was telling you about a while ago. Now that bushing is going to pull all the way up to the block, and that's why it does latch onto that pretty good. Normally it corrodes just enough to where it doesn't just slide back over. So that's the reason why it does that. Torque to spec. So we'll put our wires back on. I'm going to get you zoomed out and out of the way. And get you on the back side here. Let's see. You still see, I don't know. We can plug our control back in. Let's see. This is a 2-wire. Yep, that's a standard 2-wire. Kind of looked at that for reference. Lock that feller back in. Get our battery wire. Maybe we'll remove the nut first so we can put the battery wire on. There is two, do not force this. There is two tabs on the battery wire. They need to be locked into their correct positions on the alternator or you'll break the plastic. So we'll get our 12. Tighten that little filler back up. Actually, I should have known this is going to be a 13. Aftermarket nut, which would be a 13. I said aftermarket nut. What I really meant by that is US version of metric is going to be 13, and then the Japanese version of it is going to be a 12. So put your rubber back on. If you, like I said, we're not in a rusty area here. You can put some dielectric grease on here if you want to, but here it's not really necessary here. So grab our plastic cover. Lord, I can't get the damn bolt in the hole. Do remember to put your splash cover back. That's very important. Very, very important. I see all too many vehicles come in here that where people have done something and they leave these plastic parts off of them. Not a good idea. Matter of fact, it's quite the opposite. It's a very bad idea. Also, when you put these plastic parts on, do it with a 1/4 inch drive, very short handle ratchet. This is plastic and it will break. I don't think this one here is new enough. Some vehicles you have to clear the code in order for the charging system to reactivate, but I don't know that we need to do this on this one here. I doubt it. I think we can start this one here up, and if that was the problem, the light should go out immediately. I can tell you this, you know, there's going to be some people upset about not testing maybe. I don't know. Seems like there always is. I can only tell you this, you know, I'm instructed to do a certain job. That's the job that I quoted, and that's the job I'm going to do. Every minute that I go over, my lights are on and all that good stuff. You know, at the end of the day, we got to survive in this industry. And as I made comments before, I don't charge that much in the first place. So that little whining noise that you heard there in the beginning, it did it when I pulled the vehicle in. It did the same thing. Like I said, I don't know if that was part of the belt or what's going on there, but the light is out. Vehicle is obviously charging. Like I said, don't get upset with me about not checking. Light was on before, the light is not on now. I'm assuming that's good, and that's as far as I'm going to go. You know, I have literally done what the customer hired me to do, and hopefully that'll help somebody. Like, subscribe, leave comments in the comment box. Don't just dislike a video and then not voice your opinion. Any feedback is welcome. I don't care what it is. I'm not going to remove any comments unless they are of a nature where people are cursing and stuff like that. Not going to have it on my channel. So thank you guys, and we'll see you on the next one. One more thing to add on. I don't know that I finished the sentence, but what I've noticed on the vehicle right away was the fact that somebody had already replaced the battery. So they've already blasted the parts cannon on this thing. They replaced they may have replaced a battery that was perfectly fine. I've looked, the battery is brand new, so and as you can tell, when I cranked it, that thing barely had enough juice to start this motor back up. So alternator load on it is probably pretty good too, so figured I'd add that in there.